Welcome to News Today with WW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for January 27th, 2020. The Walt Disney World Railroad closed back on December 3rd, 2018 to accommodate the start of construction for the Tron Light Cycle Run attraction at the Magic Kingdom. Since then, the train has sat stationary at that Main Street station as an exhibit of sorts. However, last week it was announced that the train would be moving to Fantasyland. We expected to see the train already stationed at Rope Drop this morning, but at 9:10 a.m. it was still making its way over. Anything on time at Walt Disney World anymore? Half a dozen cast members, mostly management or train ops, were on the site this morning. With the train set to arrive this afternoon, part of the transfer process involved resetting the exit gates, as well as a number of other safety precautions. The train finally arrived shortly after that, around 9:45 a.m. Cast members immediately took to preparing the train for its next stationary exhibit run, and finally at 11:30, the Fantasyland station opened to guests. A new sign welcomed guests for an up-close view of an authentic Walt Disney World Railroad steam train. Internal refurbishment calendars have confirmed that the train will remain closed throughout 2020. Work on the queue of It's a Small World at the Magic Kingdom now underway, with construction walls put in place. The attraction will stay open during the queue refurbishment, but will cause the entrance of the attraction to shift closer to the tangled restrooms during this time, which is expected to last until sometime in the spring of this year. Bright blue construction walls have been installed on the side of the queue that fit the color scheme of the attraction facade. While the queue refurbishment will not impact the operation of the attraction, it does make the queue feel more closed off because, well, you're walled in. Even the queue inside the show building is getting worked on, so we expect this refurbishment to take some time to complete. There's no end date, exact end date for this, but It's a Small World will remain open throughout the work. Chances are this is a phase one. The rumor is that in time for the 50th anniversary, It's a Small World will close to add Disney characters like many of the other It's a Small World attractions have at this point. The queue refurbishment is long overdue. You may remember in our maintenance report, the It's a Small World queue was constantly in there, and it never got any better. The same lights that were burnt out 6 months ago all over that facade have remained burnt out. And just everything's been turning black in there. So it's nice that they're finally going to go through, and I'm hoping they're going to fix all the lights and everything. At this point, it seems like Epcot is just one big construction site. Major ongoing projects include bypass walkways, new attractions, of course, such as Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in France and the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Work is also underway at Epcot's front entrance to enhance the guest arrival experience. The new security structure's frame is almost complete, with only a few pieces missing in the roofline. Short retaining walls have been built around the structure, and at the end of the structure is a wooden framed out area with some pipework. In front of the security structure, the area has a small retaining wall marking the outline of where the concrete will be poured. We hope that this new security screening area will expedite guest arrival at the park. Yesterday morning, we saw that the guest experience team is finally arrived at Epcot. They're in 2 locations. The cast members available on each end of the construction walls in Future World before you reach the breezeways. We saw the cast members prepared to help guests navigate construction and answer their Epcot questions. The podiums themselves may seem lacking in theming department for Walt Disney World, but they will likely be themed and include digital tip boards when construction in the area is complete. I mean, that may be a while, but eventually. Guest experience teams, of course, are already at the other 3 Walt Disney World theme parks. French hard cider will be on the menu at Crêperie de Paris, according to the Instagram page for the France Pavilion's ice cream shop. They posted a photo as the restaurant tested a variety of hard ciders this week. This gives us yet another hint at the restaurant being truly authentic, as the Brittany region of Northwest France that inspires the menu produces a healthy amount of apples. In fact, apples inspire many of the wines produced there. La Crêperie de Paris will offer both table and quick service options, featuring a menu from celebrity chef Jérôme Bocuse, who also heads up Le Chefs de France. We're pretty excited to see the savory crepes called galettes, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, and sweet crepes that are in store when it opens this summer. Since the opening of Star Wars Rise of the Resistance at Disney's Hollywood Studios, once guests secured a boarding group and their group was subsequently called, they would have 2 hours to return to the attraction. Now it seems recent changes have taken place to alter the return time for boarding groups. In recent dates, instances of 1-hour return windows for boarding have been seen, especially after extended downtimes or delays. Guests will need to read their notification closely to know whether they've been signed a 1 or 2 hour return window. While many of this morning's boarding groups still had a 2-hour return window, it is no longer the standard, so make sure you keep a close eye on your notifications so you don't miss your opportunity to ride. Walt Disney World has distributed a survey to guests who received boarding groups for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, according to Twitter user @DrewDisneyDude. The survey asks a variety of questions, but one is particularly worth noting. Disney asked guests their preferred way to wait their turn for the ride. The question asks, which of the following would you have preferred in order to ride Star Wars Rise of the Resistance? Guests can choose from these options: a virtual queue system currently used, a combination of limited Fast Pass tickets and waiting in a standby line, or standby lines only. Another question addressed issues with the ride. Guests are asked about any challenges they experience with Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and we certainly hope these surveys lead to an improvement in the system, because I think no system is perfect, but I think there's definitely got to be something better than what they're doing now. I don't know. Everyone seems to like it. I don't understand why you would want to show up and get a boarding group that maybe isn't until the evening at opening time. Doesn't make sense to me, but some people think it's better. Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land, despite being about a year and a half old, is looking worse for wear these days. You may recall it's been making regular appearances on our maintenance report over time because of the land's, for the lack of a better term, shoddy craftsmanship. Built and maintained on a bare minimum budget compared to other parts of Disney World, the plastic fixtures may form a part of the toy-centric storyline, but the peeling paint certainly doesn't. Now it seems maintenance and upkeep issues are plaguing the land's only eatery, with questionable stains found on umbrellas, considerable grime on the Connect's themed pieces, corroded metals, peeling paint, decals falling off, etc. You'll see here in one of the many umbrella top tables, there were these black stains all over, which could have been mold or who knows what. There's also considerable wear on the underside of the Baby Bell wrapper umbrellas. Many parts have seen entire sheets of paint just peeled off. Peeling paint found on a number of metal pieces. They're just exposed metal at this point. The grooves of every Connect's piece are built up with dark residue and grime. It's just very bad. It's maintenance and cleaning, and just none of that seems to be happening. Of course, there is no scheduled refurbishment for Woody's Lunchbox at this time, but hopefully something's going to happen, because it looks pretty rough. While work on the new arrival enhancements at Animal Kingdom has been stalled, seemingly for the last few months, it seems it's full speed ahead now in the new year. Construction on the new security screening tent at the entrance to the park has gone vertical and can be seen over the scrim-covered fences at the front of the parking lot. 2 sets of structures were seen being constructed with cylindrical pillars along the edges of what will be a tram turnaround. The 2 structures are now being unified at the center, making for one large, all-encompassing security screening area to welcome all guests to the park. No opening date for that has been announced just yet. After the former settlement playground at Fort Wilderness was enveloped in ongoing construction work for Reflections, a Disney lakeside lodge, kids were left without an official place to play. However, all that changed as the new playground was recently unveiled. Previously, this area was closed off with a green construction fence, but now newly planted landscaping surrounds the park. The location is right between Crockett's Tavern and the Settlement Trading Post, a new location for the playground. A large sign informs guests of the age and height limitations of the playground. Faux rocks were included to help connect the playground to the area's nature theme. Across the walkway, construction fences block off the former old playground, but luckily you can go play in this new one. Thanks to the OC Register, we now have a first look at concept art for the new 12-story Disney Vacation Club Tower planned for the Disneyland Hotel. Permits for the tower were filed back in November. However, it's important to note that the project must still pass approval from the City of Anaheim to be actually built. A final site plan has been filed, including mention of a Mickey-shaped spa and an outdoor pool bar. Other amenities like retail, restaurants, valet, meeting spaces, and check-in will be provided by the existing facilities at the Disneyland Hotel, meaning no new ones are being built. The lobby will be comprised of 2 stories and an open-air floor plan. The tower's 350 rooms would include 271 larger studios, 38 smaller 2-person studios, 22 2-bedroom suites, 19 1-bedroom suites, and 2 grand villas. The proposed opening date for the DVC Tower is 2023. However, construction may take well up to 4 years, delaying the expected opening. Originally discontinued from Docking Bay 7 food and cargo locations in Galaxy's Edge at both Disneyland and Disney World, the infamous Space Sporks are back. And now they're on sale to the public in Disneyland. That's right, you can buy them. Guests no longer have to pull a Hondo Onaka and pirate these precious pieces of cutlery, as they're now available for purchase at Docking Bay 7. The Sporks are currently listed under a new cargo section of the menu. They retail for $10.99 and come with a travel bag. For travelers on Batu East, Sporks have yet to be listed on the Docking Bay 7 at Hollywood Studios as for sale, but we expect them to arrive soon. I love this. I love that they actually just didn't remove them. They just plan to sell them to solve the problem. I also love that the themed bag in Arabesh says property of Docking Bay 7, which I feel is some sort of inside joke to the fact that people were stealing them. So now you can buy it, but the bag says property of Docking Bay 7. Kudos to whoever did this. It's great. At Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival from February 28th to April 21st, you can enjoy the California-inspired festival with a classic Disney twist. This year, the marketplace will welcome back some of your favorite marketplaces, such as Avocado Time and Cluck-a-Doodle Moo. They have some really inventive kiosk names at the California Festival. Meanwhile, over at the Hollywood Backlot stage, you can learn how to add some sizzle to your kitchen as Disney and celebrity chefs share their secrets and tips to preparing their favorite dishes during cooking demonstrations. If the kids want to take control in the kitchen, they can with Chef Goofy at Junior Chef. And the excitement continues with a new signature events such as the Disney Culinary Adventure Tour, where on Wednesdays and Thursdays during the festival, you'll have the opportunity to take a behind-the-scenes tour of one of the many kitchens in Disney California Adventure Park, and the winemaker reception is also available, where you can experience exquisite food and wine pairings as a professional winemaker explains the grandeur of your experience at the Carthay Circle restaurant. From California-inspired tastes and sips to the indulgent winemaker dinner, there's something for everybody. The Downtown Disney District sign, removed from the district in April 2019, has returned, but with a new identity, new location, and a more classic look. The updated sign is now located at Disneyland Resort's Toy Story parking area. The sign has a new dark mint paint job and a gold and blue Disneyland Resort logo. The sign also has a nice gold ribbon wrapping around the spire, with a gold and blue D replacing the Downtown Disney initials at the top. According to cast member, the lights do not work and will not be a feature we'll see at night. You may remember, maintenance report getting a lot of airtime this week. You may recall one of our Disneyland maintenance reports, I reported that half the lights were burnt out on the structure. A week later, it vanished, and now it's in a completely new place. But no, it won't have those lights anymore. Good news for guests visiting the Disneyland Resort. MaxPass can now be purchased using Apple Pay on the Disneyland app, a feature that makes purchasing the digital FastPass service much easier for iOS users. To set up Apple Pay in the Disneyland app, simply tap MaxPass and the pop-up will appear. While the coronavirus concerns haven't reached a high level in the U.S., a far greater number of Disneyland guests than usual have been seen taking precautions against contagions. Our reporters have seen quite a few guests wearing protective masks. With tens of thousands of guests entering Disneyland Resort a day, some are taking an early opportunity to protect themselves. While guests are sometimes seen with these masks during flu season, or because they're from Asia generally, our reporters have noticed a significant increase in the number of guests seen wearing them, including in those not from Asian countries. So far, only 2 cases of coronavirus have been detected in the U.S. We're waiting to see if Disneyland in the U.S. will take any health measures, as Walt Disney World did in 2016 when providing free bug spray to combat the Zika virus. We'll continue to monitor any closures and preventative measures issued by any of the parks as further developments regarding the virus arise. Just minutes before Hong Kong Disneyland was set to open on January 25th, Twitter users reported the park was closed due to the coronavirus. Reuters reported that the hotels inside Hong Kong Disneyland are still open. We do not yet know how long Hong Kong Disneyland will be closed. Shanghai Disney, of course, has been closed since the 25th as well. Hong Kong has declared an emergency due to the coronavirus outbreak that has killed 56 people in China, according to CBS News. WDW News Today is monitoring the Hong Kong Disneyland developments, and we'll keep you informed as we learn more. And as the coronavirus situation unfolds across Asia, precautions to prevent the spread of the disease have been strengthened. And after the temporary closure of both Shanghai and Hong Kong, Tokyo Disney Resort remains the only operating resort within Asia. And with the popularity of Chinese tourism to Japan, the country is gearing up to ward off the spread of the disease. According to multiple tweets, cast members at the Tokyo Disney Resort will be allowed to wear sick masks on stage starting tomorrow, January 28th. Guests facing Tokyo Disney Resort cast members are traditionally not allowed to wear sick masks. And while sick masks are an acceptable part of Japanese daily culture, the mask could detract from theming or the Disney look. However, cast members and guest health and safety are first and foremost. There are no plans to close Tokyo Disney Resort at this time, and as of the evening of January 27th, Japanese Standard Time, 4 cases have been confirmed in the country. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And now I'm going to try to figure out how to drink out of this Space Mountain mug.